I want to wish all of you a happy new year. Happy, healthy, prosperous 2025. So we have a big, heavy agenda at the ECB. Another significant development on the horizon is our digital euro. We are in the preparation phase, and we are expecting European legislation. Once that is done, we will decide whether we move forward with developing a digital form of cash, your digital euro.
The picture, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to XRP is so blatantly obvious that even a blind man could see it. And what we're going to do in this video is a bit of a dump of content clips as it relates to XRP and its routing within the traditional financial system. There we had a clip that was Christine Lagarde's sort of New Year's message, what they're looking forward to in 2024. And of course, she mentions digital cash and CBDCs. Now, over in Europe, they've set pretty stringent regulatory measures for stablecoins, and we've seen the kind of eradication of tether within the EU's jurisdiction. Now we know that Ripple XRP is well and truly rooted to Mika. This is from Smoke, great guy to follow, by the way. He's highlighting that global ripple effect, and that of course Ripple has been a part of the Mika regulations for a long time now. They are very regulatory compliant and ultimately well positioned to actually help enable digital cash within Europe. So the next thing I want to do, and this is going to be a dump of many clips, including from other central banks around the world, is actually play a clip of Christine Lagarde previously in 2009 actually mentioning Ripple specifically. Let's go ahead and get into that.
So that's where I see changes happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripples and all those, that's where they are active and helpful.
So there we have Christine Lagarde talking and actually mentioning Ripple as being helpful. Helpful for what? Helpful for the transformation of currency as we know it in the entire financial system. If you are not bullish on XRP, and we were bullish on XRP before this price pump, like I'm sure many of you that watch my channel regularly will not only know and share the opinion of, but if you are not bullish on Ripple and XRP, quite frankly, you just haven't done enough research. That is the honest conclusion that one has to come to. Now, it's not just Europe, and we'll talk about the United States towards the end, because we've seen major adoption since sort of Trump's presidency. They've seen more partnerships signed within the US in the last 6 weeks than they have the prior 6 months, obviously on the back end of Trump's sort of presidency and what's taking place as far as regulatory clarity is concerned. It's not just the EU and US that are going to be affected massively by Ripple. It's the likes of Japan. Estimates that around about 80% of Japanese banks are going to adopt XRP by 2025. What did Christine Lagarde just say? 2025 is the year. And there's a number of other things that lead us to believe 2025 is going to be a monumental year. Also, very quickly, and we'll talk about price towards the end of the video, when you look technically at XRP, we were highlighting that pattern and we said a big move's going to come out of this. Is a big 7-year consolidation pattern. It's ultimately going to lead to a squeeze to the upside. We have just started that journey, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about price action. We'll reiterate our $19.27 target, which was laughed at. Doesn't seem so unlikely now. And actually, in the short term, there might be continuation pattern that sees it do very well. But 2025, technically from a price point of view, is signaled to be a good year. Fundamentally, we've got all these deep embedded things within the financial institutions that are changing, and actually now the acceptance and realization and sort of public display that actually XRP is going to play a major role in what essentially is likely going to take place. So we spoke about the EU. We've now spoken about Japan. Let's play a clip now of Chris Larsen, who was one of the 3 founders of Ripple with, of course, Arthur and Jeb McCaleb. Let's play a clip now of Chris Larsen meeting with the Cambodian central bank, and that they are essentially green lighting stablecoins, despite them still upholding a prohibition against Bitcoin. And I actually think XRP is going to see more usage and adoption than Bitcoin. Plain and simple. You know, it wasn't out of my memory, actually when XRP was the second largest cryptocurrency. I think it's going to get there again, probably in this cycle. Actually, I can potentially see it going above and beyond that well into the future, although I think Bitcoin's going to be hard to sort of knock off that top seat. We do have a technical pattern on a broader time frame that sees Bitcoin dominance come right down. But let's play this clip of the Cambodia Central Bank meeting with Chris Larsen.
Every time we come back, Cambodia, thank you for everything you're doing. But also, really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to discussions. Thanks for taking your valuable time. Welcome to the Peace Palace. This is what we call the Office of the Prime Minister. So the building itself is, reflect the important peace.
2, 3. Thank you very much.
So now we've spoken about the ECB, clear links to Ripple there, thus XRP. We've spoken about Japan and how there's going to be a big influence there with Ripple and, of course, XRP. We've spoken about the Cambodia Central Bank. Now let's play a clip from the National Bank of Georgia, which again mention Ripple in regards to what they're trying to do.
Started CBDC project as well, still on the very initial stage, but we are glad to announce that we invited well-known Ripple company who helped us with the piloting stage. Also, we will be advanced. But I would like to see Georgia more advanced in terms of becoming a middle corridor fintech hub.
And actually now, the last thing that I want to share with you guys is some of the love that South Korea is showing XRP. There is, and at certain points, there's been more XRP traded in the South Korean won than there actually has USD. I believe the South Korean won is going to collapse. I genuinely believe that, against the dollar at least. And ultimately, is there some sort of a XRP thing going on there? We spoke about this about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and we spoke about sort of the bearable guy 123's sort of signaling and how it resembled something happening in South Korea. That's potentially for a different video, but there's a lot going on in regards to South Korea. Asia more broadly, of course, as it relates to Ripple and XRP. But this is certainly interesting and something to pay attention to. And of course, it wouldn't be right if we didn't talk about the largest economy in the world, the real standard for economies out there. And that, of course, is America. And we know that there's a kind of acceptance towards crypto now taking place under Trump's presidency. And this is hugely bullish for the industry as a whole. Certainly XRP, which I believe they're going to adopt. And we've said this for the longest. They're going to adopt Ripple's ledger to ultimately enable stablecoins that are doing very well. Just the other day, Ripple's real USD was already past PayPal's stablecoin, all European stablecoins, and I think it's only going to continue to gain ground and market share. But the US is going to likely adopt a company like Ripple, just like they've adopted Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, these companies to help them sort of win that technological race. But it's going to do that also for financial reasons in regards to stablecoins in the US dollar. Let's listen to what Brad Garlinghouse had to say yesterday about what's taking place in America as it relates to Ripple and XRP. 2025 is here, and the Trump bull run is real. For Ripple, this is even more personal after Gary Gensler's SEC effectively froze our business opportunities here at home for years. The optimism is obvious and very deserved. Today, 75% of Ripple's open roles are now US-based. Brilliant. Well, over the last 4 years, the vast majority of hires were outside the US. We signed more US deals in the last 6 weeks of 2024 since the election than the previous 6 months. Team Trump is already jump-starting innovation and growth in the US with Scott Bessent, David Sachs, Paul Atkins, and others at the helm, and they aren't even in office yet. Say what you want, but the Trump effect is already making crypto great again through his campaign and the administration day one priorities. Ladies and gentlemen, the picture when it comes to XRP is so clear, even a blind man could see it. And let's finish things off on a little bit of price action. We know people love price action. We have given you our technical target a long time ago for Ripple to get to around about that $19.27 mark. I don't believe it's going to stop there. I think it's going to go higher, but I'd like some sort of a technical structure that gives me a target towards that. Right now, we have $19 based on this big symmetrical sort of bull pennant pattern. In the shorter term, since Ripple sort of break to the upside, what it could be doing today is actually setting up continuation. That's likely going to lead to further price appreciation and start to march towards that big macro target that we have. In fact, I'm very much betting on it. Depending on whether you want to take your bull flag from here or whether you want to take it from here, you get 2 different targets. One is $4.30 and the other is $11.27. I actually think, based on what we've looked at and how everyone's talking about 2025, that you're quite likely to make this big macro pattern potentially within this year. Certainly within the next couple of years. And that's an unbelievably exciting prospect, especially for those of us that have been accumulating at the right time. We weren't really accumulating Ripple back here because you didn't have any technical structure. We've really been accumulating it here, all pre-pump. And of course, we're now basking in that sum. I know that there's many of you out there that are on that journey with me. I'm super stoked to be here with you all. It's an exciting time we have ahead of us. The writing is on the wall when it comes to XRP, guys, and its ultimate adoption. We've got so much content to cover. We could have done a video on each piece of this, but we thought we'd throw it all together as we're talking about CBDCs, digital currencies, showing you that there's just in this one video 5 or 6 central banks actively looking to use XRP and Ripple as a company. Ultimately, actually, I think it goes above and beyond that in regards to the United States also looking to do the same. And there's a lot of interesting things going on that we haven't spoken about, like treasuries and things like this and IPOs. We'll save that for a later video. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. It's always a pleasure, and I'll see you all in the next one.